Now, let's take a look at a risk event for the week starting Monday, the 10th of May. We're off now to Daily FX and joining Daniela Sabin Hathorn, who joins us with a look at one trade to watch out for next week. Danny, good morning.
So next week, I'll be looking at euro sterling. It's definitely in an interesting position. We have the immediate risk for the pound currently unfolding. We have the Bank of England meeting yesterday, and also we have the results of the UK elections coming out over the next few days. From the Bank of England side, there was a 50-50 chance that they would announce a taper in their purchases, which they did, but they kind of stressed that this does not mean a shift in their stance. They're not becoming suddenly very hawkish. It was just a mechanical taper. The rate at which they were pacing their current purchases would mean that they would have hit their QE limits by August. So it was kind of a necessary thing they had to do if they wanted to keep this in place throughout the whole year. So also in terms of forecasts, the short-term outlook has been upgraded. That was expected. We've seen a lot of hot data coming out from the UK. And I think that the most important aspect from this is that inflation, right? The BOE is expecting inflation to be below their 2% forecast over the 3-year horizon. That kind of gives a bit of a blow to inflation hawks and inflation bulls, which has been the talk of the town recently. So that was definitely an interesting takeaway. That kind of weighed a bit on the pound yesterday. It definitely allowed Euro GBP to shoot up after the meeting. We do have a bit of data for the UK next week. We have GDP for the first quarter. I don't expect it to be a massive market mover, but it will definitely serve to see if, to measure if the UK economy is in the right track to fulfill the projection from the Bank of England. Focusing on the elections, and especially going into next week, this is the main risk I'm looking at next week, is the result of the elections, and especially in Scotland. I think the focus will be of whether the S&P can get a majority or not. Polling before the election was a 50-50 call, so it's definitely going to be interesting either way. An S&P majority is definitely negative for the pound, and despite that if there is Scottish independent or referendum, it being a long way away, it will definitely weigh on the pound going into next week. So if we look at euro sterling chart quickly, the pair is trading in an ascending triangle. You can see that marked here, especially from the low seen there at the beginning of April after a few months of a strict downward pattern. There's an interesting resistance here in the middle of the triangle, just below the 0.87 mark there. So there's also the 100-day simple moving average converging here as well, and that's been keeping bulls a bit at bay. So it's definitely interesting to see what's going to happen there. If we see an S&P majority, I think we'll break this level easily, and then we'll head towards the upper level of the triangle, here just around the 0.8725 area. It has been strong resistance in the last few weeks, also back here in February 26th, and when we tried to see this rebound in price. So it's definitely a key area to look out for. This is where I'm going to be looking out for. If the S&P get a majority, are we able to see the pair push above this key level and then head toward hopefully like 0.88 level? But definitely focus on that going into the next week with euro sterling.
Lovely. Danny, thanks so much indeed. Daniela Sabin Hathorn joining us there from Daily FX with a risk event for the week starting Monday, the 10th of May. For more videos from us here at IGTV, join us on Twitter at IGCom and subscribe to our YouTube channel.